guys, welcome back to my channel, The Expanse, Season 4, Episode 5, right? This is Episode 5. Not going to do a recap for this episode because you guys know basically what's going down. Not a whole lot was really revealed last episode. The only thing major that went down was, or I should just say in the last couple of episodes, what's been revealed. The whole thing that happened when the Earthers came down to Illis was, they thought it was a ship malfunction, right? But really we saw a little flashback in the beginning of the episode that they actually arrived 10 hours early, which messed up all the plans of the Belters. So it wasn't supposed to go down like that, and we saw that it was an accident. Not an accident, but they weren't planning on the Earthers coming 10 hours early. So that's what caused this whole thing. The Earthers found out that it was the Belters, declared war, and it's just been a back and forth ever since. The Belters don't want to leave because they finally have a planet to call their own. Also, no other planet in the system has the lithium deposits that this planet does, apparently. And the Earthers don't want to leave because they are on a mission, or they were on a mission to explore the planet and figure out what's going on there. And then this whole thing happened, and now they cannot leave. Or at least Mercury is saying they cannot leave because there are murderers within the Belters that need to be brought to justice. So on both sides, I was playing devil's advocate last episode, and I do understand where both sides are coming from. So I can't really be mad at either side. I don't really know, with so many episodes left of the season, I don't really know where it's gonna go. I hope we get a little bit more Protomolecule information. With last episode, I'm pretty sure it ended. It's been a few days since I watched, but I'm pretty sure it ended with Alex looking off from the Rocinante and seeing some type of explosion. It looked like a volcano, but also that guy that was on the Edward Israel said that there was no volcanic structures on the planet. So with the Protomolecule, I know anything can happen, so I wouldn't put it past the Protomolecule to form something like that. But I'm very curious to see if this volcano, whatever explosion, whatever that was, I'm interested to see if it has anything to do with the Protomolecule and what that implies. If Miller maybe comes around. I don't know. I'm going to shut up and get right into the episode though. So without further ado, let's get into episode 5.
Believe me, I wish none of this had happened. But the only thing we can do now is leave before more people die.
Tell your friend the Secretary General that we have the right to be here. If you do that and pledge to help our colony, then we'll agree to leave.
Oh my
I can't
god.
speak for Avasarala or Earth, but I give you my word. I'll do everything I can.
Alright, so they're leaving. So he technically didn't promise anything. He would have been in a serious pickle if he promised something to her about talking to Christian.
Looks like the Barb and the Eddie are in the same boat. All their systems check out okay, but as soon as they try to fire up the reactor, zilch.
So the physics of fusion have just stopped working.
It's like that Protomolecule is back at it again.
Yeah, but why? Is it the same general goal that it's just trying to find who destroyed its creators?
Our people have been locked in dead quarters by corporate soldiers.
Since that transmission, it's been radio silence. From the Rocinante as well as Edward Israel.
Is it possible the OPA shut down the Rincon relay to Nuterra deliberately?
We considered that and formally queried Medina Station, but
They denied it.
yes, ma'am.
It means that we have all lost contact with everyone on that godforsaken planet.
Yes, ma'am.
Not good. Oh wow, I just saw the old terraform towers
Your
were
items are there and waiting.
decommissioned.
I'm gonna check the inventory.
So Mars is really
If it's all the same to you.
done.
All of the reactors are out on every ship in orbit.
And the old blue goo.
Might change a lot of the physics on us again.
What about Miller?
He's gone.
He helped us so we could bring him here. He may be done with us now.
That seems a little bit ungrateful if you ask me.
Yeah, well, we've been knew that
The light
he's not.
shuttles, the Israel and the Barb
looking out for
chemical
them.
rockets, which means
The Bobbie Piccola is too low.
And it's not rated for atmosphere.
first things first.
Not rated for atmosphere.
When y'all first got here, the Barb went into a low orbit, right, to conserve fuel for the shuttle going up and down to set up the colony.
Normally that's not a problem, because all you would have to do to maintain orbit is speed up.
The Bob will fall.
Dorosi's batteries will last longer, but eventually...
We all will.
I love her tattoos, her face tattoos. I want like a map of what all the Belter tattoos mean. in the
The shuttle
atmosphere.
is gone, sir. All we're picking up are high energy particles in the vicinity.
What's going on with the moon?
They think it might be melting.
What?
Nothing else. Leaves the ship until you hear otherwise from me.
Understood, Chief.
So what's plan C?
Yeah. You better line up a plan
To a reinforced shelter that can
DEF.
handle 200-kilometer-per-hour winds and massive flooding.
The Sojourner.
The ship that you assured us had been destroyed.
Oh, we had every reason to believe that it had.
Do you know who was behind the attack?
Marco Inaros.
Before our missiles destroyed the Sojourner, a surveillance satellite on Luna detected a high-intensity laser from the vessel.
So he was behind it? He violated the terms of the agreement between
There's a tight
them and
beam
Earth.
comm laser?
By
Interesting.
order of UNN Fleet Command, we will be remaining inside the ring space to help secure it from any further incidents that are beyond your ability to control.
Those are not the conditions of the armistice.
The OPA violated those conditions first.
Marco Inaros is not under our control.
Then why did you promise you could deal with him if you could not?
Remember when they were gonna kill his ass? Now
in
look.
touch.
Now look what happened.
I stand by my vote. If we hadn't spared Marco's life, it would have divided the factions. We have to stay united.
And if we don't resolve this quickly and to the UN's satisfaction,
Then they will never leave. And we won't be able to force them to go.
Well, yeah, because the armistice was violated. They're gonna want to figure out why and who.
Have you talked to David lately? No? It's understandable. I'm sure all of this must be humiliating for him.
If you'd like me to beat the shit out of you again, keep it up. Bobbie Draper.
Yeah, I don't care.
Ew. What?
Adderpole terraforming tower MV-37D officially decommissioned as of today.
I've prioritized the components in terms of value and ease of disassembly.
It's going to be a very nice score.
If she gets caught doing this, she's absolutely screwed. She's already had too many run-ins with intelligence, dishonorably discharged. I mean, if I would be watching anybody, it would be Bobbie. She would be on my radar, just because of how she's been treated. She doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like, she probably still cares about the planet, but clearly she doesn't care about the people on it. What?
That's not good.
What is that? Is her eye bleeding? Is it just like the same thing as Naomi? Maybe she can't handle the planet and it's just impacting her a little bit later than Naomi?
for you sail, for you sail,
Oh.
to shun the gates of hell, we sail.
Oh. I know I gave him some shit, but I feel like he's a really good person.
What?
The log showed the transmission was encrypted with MCRA codes.
When we had him, Marco mentioned Mars.
It's hard to believe any Martian would help a Belter, particularly one like Marco. The transponder was the Pazuzu, a Belter ferry en route to Palos.
We need to monitor it.
Already in motion.
Mars, Martian. Interesting. I hope nothing bad happens to Ashford. Whenever sentimental scenes like that happen, I get bad feelings.
This thing is tough. Good. It's gonna have to be.
Alright, come on, guys. Come on! No time for kissy kissy. The planet is about to fucking be destroyed. In other news, I'm glad that Amos found love. He deserves it.
You don't have time to make it back to the ruins. Get back inside and brace yourself.
Do we really need all this?
Yes, this is a biochemical assay deck, and that is a pharmaceutical printer. Trust me, we're going to need them.
No, it's coming. It's fucking there. Oh my god. And that was not even, that was just like a little taste, a little flavor of what is to come.
We can't afford to wait until he gets to Palos. The ship could go dark any time and he could slip away.
Yeah, and to capture him, we need to board it. And we need ships and belters with guns.
When Fred and Dawes see this, they'll give us whatever we need. This time Marco won't be able to talk his way out.
We haven't seen Fred and Dawes in so damn long. Like, are we gonna get them this season? I mean, y'all already know, but I kind of hope we see them this season. I don't know if anything happened with the actual actors, if they moved on to different shows, because if I remember, they like really weren't in season 3 in its entirety.
That should do it.
There you go. I feel like Bobbie is so eager to help. I get the feeling that she's starting to... No. No, 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 no.
There's a guy inside, he's locked me out. He's calling for help.
No.
I'm out of here.
Well, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna go down because of Bobbie, right? They're gonna let Bobbie take the hit. Unless they actually value her as a team member. Oh. I guess they do. Jesus. That's how fast it's moving? How are they gonna close that hole up? This reminds me of Interstellar. I know everything is reminding me of Interstellar, but the music kind of sounds like a clock ticking. That is nuts. That is my worst fear. That is actually my worst fear. No. No! Jesus. I guess the water pushing up on it would close it. Is that the end? Wow. These episodes go by so friggin' fast. Okay, so I still have the same questions that I had last episode. Not a lot has really changed. At least we got to see Bobbie this episode. That's what I will say. I'm enjoying Bobbie's storyline a little bit more. I know I kind of gave her storyline a little bit of shit because it didn't seem believable to me that she would stay on Mars with its current state. But I came around to it. I understand that her heart has always been with Mars. I mean, ever since her character was introduced, she was like the epitome of Martian pride, terraforming Mars. She was very for that goal happening within the next 50 years or whatever it was. So it is easy for me to believe now that she would not want to so easily abandon Mars, even when they've treated her like shit, dishonorably discharged her, even though she saved the fucking world or played a role in it. I don't know. They just gave her so much shit and she just decided to take it, I guess, because of her love for the planet. Her love for Mars was greater than all the shit that she was getting. She was able to overcome it. But also that love for Mars being the reason that she stayed on Mars is now the reason that she's caught up in all this black market bullshit. I don't know if anybody else got the vibe this episode though, but I'm starting to feel like that mindset is changing and she's not totally being like, fuck Mars, I don't care for Mars anymore, but there is a little bit of a side to her that doesn't really care. There needs to be a side of her that doesn't really care because she's doing this willingly. Well, not willingly, it's kind of against her will. She's kind of forced to do it, but I feel like she's kind of enjoying it now. I mean, she helped them solve the issue with the locked door. She could have very easily just kept that in her head and been like, okay, sucks to suck, like we can't get this mission done. But she's very eager to help out, very eager to get the mission done, and if they didn't come in and save her, however they did it, she would have risked her life. She was running out of oxygen. The guards noticed her and they locked her in there, so she was willing to risk her life for that mission, which is crazy to me because that's such a 180 from her beginning of the season mentality towards Mars. I just hope that this storyline ends with her obviously staying alive, getting safely out of it, paying her debts, paying her dues, completing what she needs to complete, not really getting in further into this whole, I don't even know what you would call it, this whole operation. I want her to just do her duty with this operation, get it done, and then go off setting up book 5 or season 5 somewhere else. Speaking of that, I really want to read the books up to this season. I wouldn't want to read anymore because I want to, obviously I'm a reactor, I want to watch the show fresh, no information in my mind, don't want to spoil anything for myself in terms of reactions, but I would want to read up to season 4 because season 4 is apparently dedicated entirely to what's going on Ilus. So I'm very interested to see if they go more in depth. I assume they go more in depth with the protomolecule happenings on the planet because I'm confused, but also I don't think it's really that deep. It seems like they're presenting it as a very simple thing. The main goal of the protomolecule that we've been explained so far is that they're trying to find, or the protomolecule is trying to find out what happened to its creators and who destroyed them. So they know that their creators were destroyed, but they're trying to figure out who destroyed them. Now, I don't know if every single action that has occurred, like what happened this episode, is because they're pursuing that goal. The protomolecule is pursuing that goal. But I'm just going to operate under the assumption that that is the goal, the ultimate goal. We haven't seen Miller in quite some time, which means that he doesn't really need Holden. I'm glad that Alex kind of touched on that this episode. He was like, Miller kind of just used us and threw us away. He doesn't really need us anymore. And Holden was starting to understand that. Hopefully he fully understands that now, because Miller never had selfless motivations. He never wanted to help Holden out of the kindness of his heart. He's a fucking projection of Miller. He's not even really Miller. So how can we trust that his motivations are true and pure when he's not even acting on Miller's best interest? He's not even Miller. So he's acting on behalf of the protomolecule, and I hope Holden is smart enough to realize that now going into these future episodes. We're halfway through the season at this point. So, or a little bit more than halfway. I think I have 4 episodes left. So hopefully the storm passes. I don't know if it's just going to be ocean around them after the tsunami hits. It said it was going to cover a third of the continent, someone said. So that is a very large portion of the planet. I don't know how they would get out of there unless they just waited to be rescued. But even so, even if that happens, they can't open up that little hole without getting water filled inside of that structure. So I really want to get into the next episode because I said the cliffhangers in season 4 were tolerable, but I lied. I really do want to get into the next episode because I feel like these episodes go by really fast. So I'm going to shut up and get into the next episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already, and I will see you guys for episode 7. All right, bye guys.